Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Laura Parrish, founder of #TNS Marketing, and it is Sunday, April 12th, 2015. And if you can see me or hear me out there, guys, if someone on my team or anyone who's watching could shoot me a message and let me know. I'm looking over here at another computer so I can see if I'm live here. I think I am. Let me just double check and make sure. I think so here. Yeah. Okay. So we're live, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's call. Tonight's call is really about gratitude for freedom in 2015, but in general, of course. And I'm joined by one of my dear friends and also a team member, Dee Howe. She's been on my team for a few years, and or coming up on 2 years, I believe. And I just really wanted to start doing these hangouts again. And there's a lot of people who are already in Empower Network who are watching this right now, or joined this or whatever. And I wanted you to be able to invite your people as well, people who might be interested in joining Empower Network or finding out exactly what it is that we do. I used to do these live hangouts a while ago. It's been over a year, and they're very successful because this gives people the ability to see that we're real human beings, and that we're not some made-up robot person on a computer, but that we're just like anyone else, and we're making our dreams come true. So before I really get started and go any further, Dee, if you want to unmute yourself and pop on and say hi, so everybody can see who you are and all that.
Hi.
There she is.
Oh, yep, I'm here.
In Florida, right? So the weather's nice.
Yeah, actually, it's really nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here with me tonight, Dee. And I have a few other people who are trying to get on tonight, but they're having a little bit of technical difficulties. So they may get on and they may not, but that's cool. So what I'd like you guys to do, for those of you who are watching this live, if you have any questions in the chat area below the video here, you'll be able to say anything you want to say or put any questions, and I'm going to keep referring over to that computer so I can see any questions that might be going on and answer them for you. All right. So here we go. Again, my name is Laura Parrish, and I am a stay-at-home mom. I want to tell a little bit of my story because it's been so long since I've done one of these calls. You may not know who I am, or you may, but I want to tell a little bit of my story so maybe you can relate a little bit. But I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I've been in Empower Network since May 24th, 2012. So I am coming up almost on 3 years inside of Empower Network. But before I joined Empower Network, I was just a stay-at-home mom. I'm still a stay-at-home mom, which is my #1 most important job, right? I love my kids. And I was just sick and tired, It's like the way that we're raised in life, we're raised to believe that you go to school, and then your parents, of course, want you to go to college. It's like, you got to go to college. You got to go to college if you want to make anything of yourself, and get a degree. And then it's like you get a degree, you're supposed to get out of college, get a job in whatever field you got your degree in, or whatnot, and then work for the rest of your life. Meet someone, get married, have kids, and then you just work for the next 40 and 50 years. And retire and hopefully have enough money to, leave for your kids when you pass on, and hopefully have enough money to put them through school, and hopefully have enough money to, pay for weddings and stuff like that. And, that's just what I was taught. That's the way I, was raised. I think that's the way, 99% of people are made to believe that that's just the way the world works. And I was in that. I was in that mindset. And I think most people are in that mindset. But, we decided to have kids. I've been married for, I think, almost 13 years now, 2002. Yeah, so almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years in July. And, I was a restaurant manager before having children. My husband is still a restaurant manager. So between the two of us, we were making 6 figures a year, and living large, spending money any way we wanted. I was a drinker back then. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for over 4 years now. This is the first call where I can actually say that, because I just celebrated 4 years on March 20th. But we had a lot of money to spare, because we didn't have kids and we just did whatever we wanted, and we were making a lot of money. But then we decided to have kids. And we decided that we didn't want a stranger to raise our kids. So I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's what we did. and our income immediately got cut in half, you know, which is difficult in and of itself, much less when, you know, you're raising kids. But we did what we had to do, and my husband makes decent money, so, you know, we were able to rent a place to live and, you know, and get the bills paid. But honestly, we were living paycheck to paycheck. There was no extra to go out to eat and do all the nice things, or, you know, go special, like pay a babysitter so we could go do date nights and things like that. So it was really frustrating because we couldn't live the way we wanted to live anymore. It's enough when you have kids that your life is completely taken over by these little awesome beings running around who require 100% of your attention. But then to add to the boot of the fact that you don't have the money to, you know, enjoy anything really, because you just pay bills, pay bills, pay bills. And by the time you get the check, it's already spent on bills, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get gas in your car, right? To even get back and forth to your job until the next paycheck. And that's the way we were living. And man, it sucks, right? If any of you guys can relate to me out there, hi to you guys out there, Penny and Corey, and you guys, I appreciate you coming on. If you guys can relate to that, you know, say or I hear you or something, because that's just the way it is. And it's like, there's got to be a better way, right? There just has to be a better way. And I didn't know what that was, but I knew I was not gonna, it just wasn't cutting it for me. Like living that way, and losing my individuality because all of a sudden, you know, I'm a mom and I'm required to give all my attention. It's like I still wanted to be me. I still wanted to be happy and fulfilled and do what I wanted to do and provide for my kids the way I wanted to provide. So I started looking online for something to do from home. And like many of you, or most of you watching this, you know, it's like, oh, that's a scam, that's a scam, that's a scam. And I'll be honest, there are a lot of scams out there, so you do have to be careful and do some research. But I came across something that wasn't a scam, and that's called Empower Network. Now, let me say this before I go any further. Income disclaimer, because I'm probably going to say some numbers. Dee might be saying some numbers. So I got to put the income disclaimer out there that our results aren't typical. And our results aren't typical because we chose not to be typical. We were serious when we said we were tired of living the way we were living, that we were going to do whatever it takes to change our lives, and we did. So we have been very successful inside of Empower Network. I know I've made almost $250,000 inside of Empower Network in the marketing industry itself. And if you'd like to see the average earnings of an Empower Network affiliate, because you're interested in possibly being average, then you can go to www.empowernetwork.com/income. Okay. But I would hope and believe that everyone watching this right now has no interest in being average, but has interest in being extraordinary. So I found Empower Network on May 24th. But let me tell you this, before I found Empower Network, I found this other thing that also was not a scam, right? And I found that on May 4th. And on May 24th, 20 days later, Empower Network was on the back end of it. And I said, these crazy guys, you know, long hair, Dave Wood, whatever. I think I can make some money doing this. And I decided to join. But here's the thing, I didn't focus on Empower Network, and this is a part of my story I don't really ever think I've told, so this might be new to you too, Dee, and I've been in for a while, right? So I didn't focus on Empower Network until like September of 2012. So I got in May, but I didn't focus till September. I was busy focusing on that other little thing that I found on May 4th, right? And it was great, and I made decent money, and you know, I got paid often and daily and a few times a day and all that. But the thing is, you know, and I was promoting Empower Network on the back end, you know, but I wasn't focusing on it. So I was getting signups here and there or whatever. But the thing is like come September, when the first event that I went to for Empower Network in San Diego was, I was ready for a change, because even though I was making decent money and had already started changing our lifestyle in that other little thing, I wasn't fulfilled. See, when we all decide, and I can speak for you, I know, because everyone's thinking exactly what I was thinking, right? Which is, I want to find a way to make money working from home. It's all about the money, right? Say I. It's all about the money. We want to work from home. We want to make money. So that's why we get into it, and we want to find something that's not a scam. We can make money, and that was my intention. And I found something that wasn't a scam, and I was making money. And Empower Network was just the back end of it, and I was making some money from that too. But here's the thing. 6 months later, I was like, you know, I was just kind of floating around with it because I wasn't fulfilled, which taught me a really valuable lesson. that it's not just about making money, right? Yeah, I was making decent money. I was able to help with the finances. We could have a date night, you know, the bills were getting paid on time and not just the past due to keep up, you know, and things like that. But it wasn't an environment that I enjoyed. What I was doing was very monotonous. It was very like, sign someone up, get them through this, go sign someone else up, get them through it, sign someone else up, get them through it, and just over and over and over. And it's like, what's the point, right? I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't enjoying it. Like, for me, I might as well just have a job, right? I mean, granted, I was working from home, but the way I felt about what I was doing wasn't cool, you know? So I decided that it was time for a change, and I decided to go to an Empower Network event in September of 2012. And it was in San Diego, and at the time, one of the co-founders, his name was David Sharp, and he spoke on stage, and he spoke such a vision and so powerfully. He literally inspired me. And I don't know exactly what it was, but I kind of like had this egotistical thing go on because I was a recovering alcoholic, still am, right? And at the time I'd been sober for 18 months, and I heard him speaking on stage about how, you know, he used to, you know, he's a recovering alcoholic, recovering drug addict, you know, but he cleaned his life up. He's been sober for X amount of time. And now he's making all this money and doing all these wonderful things and speaking on stage, inspiring people. And I'm like, dude, if he can do it, why can't I? Because, you know, he's no better than I am. I'm no better than he is. We're all just human beings. So when he came off stage that evening, I went up to him and I said, hey, dude, my name's Laura Parrish, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for 18 months, and I just want you to know you inspired me. And at the next event, the next Empower Network event in January 2013, it was in Austin, Texas, I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to have a banner that says Team No Sleep, just like Tracy Walker, because Tracy Walker is a leader inside of Empower Network. She's actually the first female $1 million ring earner inside of Empower Network. Income disclaimer, right? And I'm going to have a lot of team here, and I'm going to have a banner just like Tracy Walker, and I'm going to be on stage, blah, blah. And he was just like, I believe you. And I don't know if he really believed me or not, but he said he did. And I was like, okay. And that was it. Like, I walked away and, you know, conversation over. Well, the next day at the event, he came up off stage after some leaders had spoken, and he started walking towards me, and he was like, oh, this person came up to me yesterday and, you know, really touched me, and I want her to share her story really quick. So he started walking towards me, and I was like, oh, shit, me? And he was like, yeah, get up. And he simply made me tell everyone in the audience there, which was about 3,000 people, what I had told him the day before, that I was going to be his next leader, I was going to be on stage, and I was going to have a banner just like Tracy Walker. So then, you know, I was accountable because I just told 3,000 people I was going to do something, right? I didn't want to look like an idiot and then like not get it done, you know, because then people would be like, whatever happened to that girl who said she was going to do this or said she was going to do that, but, you know, never got it done. So it was on. And I actually had a red lanyard too. And back then, inside of Empower Network, when you had a red lanyard, that signified that you were in the top 200 affiliates. And like I said, I really hadn't paid attention to Empower Network. It was on the back end of that other thing I was doing, but I was promoting it a little bit, just not focusing on it. And, you know, David Sharp said to me, he's like, you have a red lanyard on, and this is your first event. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, that's just how I roll. And he's like, and some of my team members were screaming. He's like, and you brought team with you? I was like, yeah, I only had like 2 team members there, but still, that was better than none. He was like, so you're brand new, you brought team with you, you're in the top 200. And at that time, Empower Network only had 22,000 people to the 300,000 people it has now. And you're telling me you're going to be on stage in January. I was like, yeah, you know, it's just how it is. And he was like, okay, cool. So guess what? Come January, I was on stage. And a lot of people say, what'd you do? How'd you do it? What'd you say? Blah, 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 all this stuff. And the truth be told is I still can't give you that specific answer to this day. All I know is I made a commitment. And then I came home and said, shit, I made this big, huge commitment. I got to do something about it. And I did. I worked. That's what I did. I worked. And this is the point where I tell you, anyone who ever tells you something that sounds too good to be true is usually too good to be true, right? No one ever said that working from home is easy, all right? But I can tell you undoubtedly that it's worth it, okay? Because it's completely changed my life. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I made a lot of sacrifices, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You see, when you have a job, you have a boss that tells you when you can go to the bathroom, when you can go to lunch, when you can go on vacation, or tells you you're going to get fired if you don't show up for work because the heck with the snow that you're stuck in. Or if your kid's sick and you call in and you say you can't go to work because your kid's sick and you can't send your kid to school, and they say, well, if you don't come to work, I'm going to fire you. Like all this stuff, right? Like you don't have to deal with that crap anymore when you work for yourself, but it's still work, right? Just the benefit is we get to work when we want, or not work when we don't want, right? Or take vacation when we want to take vacation. But the bottom line is you still have to be responsible for yourself, because you don't have someone standing over your shoulder telling you what to do. So no one ever said it was easy, so let me say that up front. But it's completely worth it, and it will completely change your life. So from then on, and so on and so forth, that was kind of like the beginning of everything for me. I really started having a lot of success inside of Empower Network. I was on stage in January. I received a mini iPad for ticket sales and so on. And then come March of 2013, I had my first $33,700 a month inside of Empower Network. Income disclaimer, results not typical. And you know, that's more money than many people make in an entire year. And I made it in a month, right? And it's all because I made a commitment and a decision to change my life. So you make a commitment and a decision, and then you figure out how to make it work, right? It's like you have kids, but you don't say, well, I'm not gonna have kids until I have enough money to have kids, right? Because if that were true, then guess what? You ain't never gonna have no kids. Like, or you can't say like, I'm never gonna get married until I have enough money to pay for my wedding, or, you know, pay for all this stuff. Guess what? Then you're never gonna get married. What it is you have to decide what you want in your life. Do you want financial freedom? Do you want freedom of time to do what you want? Do you want kids? You know, do you want a house? What it is you make a commitment for what you want. You decide what you want first and say, this is what I want. This is what I really want, and get crystal clear on that. Because when you're crystal clear on what you want and you focus on it, then you do whatever it takes to make it happen, right? It's like if you buy a house, or you rent a house or an apartment or whatever, what's the first thing you do before you even move in? Don't you set up electricity, set up water, things like that? Because like it's just not a question. Like you have to have electricity, right? You have to have water. It's just not even a question in your mind. It's just something you do. You make the commitment, you set it up, and then, you know, if you get a $500 electric bill, you figure out a way to pay it. And I know that because my last 4 electric bills have been like $535. It's ridiculous. But you make a commitment to what it is you want, what it is you need, and then you find a way to make it happen. So I spoke on stage for the first time ever in April 2013 for about 15 minutes, and I was so nervous, but apparently I did okay because everybody was clapping for me and stuff, right? But the thing is, I never believed that I would ever have anything powerful to say that would ever help change anyone's life or affect anyone, because who am I? I'm not really anybody. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I'm just someone who said, hey, I'm going to change my life, and I'm not going to accept average anymore. I'm not going to accept living this way, like in this vicious, never-ending cycle of get a paycheck, it's gone, wait till the next one, it's gone. Your stomach always in knots because you can't catch up, you can't keep up. You know, all this crap, I was done with it. I had to find a different way to live. And I did with Empower Network. So then I spoke again on stage in Washington, D.C. regional event. I actually opened that event. I spoke for about 55 minutes. And that was in the end of 2013. And then I don't miss events. I never miss events, because to me, Empower Network is about a lifestyle change. And the reason I've kind of gone through the entire timeline for you, and I'm not taking up all the time. I haven't forgot about Dee. I'm going to let her talk here in just a second. But the reason I'm telling you this timeline is because I want to refer back to the story I started at the beginning, which is I got into working from home because I was sick of our finances being the way they were. And I got into something that was actually making me decent money, but I still wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this Empower Network event because I'm just not happy. I'm making money, but it feels blah. It feels like a job. And then when I went to the Empower Network event, it changed my life, because see, Empower Network is not just about making money. I learned that really quickly. It's about a community of like-minded people who raise you up, lift you up, who believe in you when you can't even believe in yourself, who help move you and guide you on your path and your journey until you can get clear on what exactly it is that you want for yourself, right? It's really a lifestyle change. And I wouldn't be a part of anything else. I would never miss another event. I can tell you right now that people get to the events any way that they can. There's been people who bought one-way plane tickets to get to an event, not knowing how they were going to get home, not having a place to lay their head to sleep, you know, all this stuff. But they get to the event and it's like people are like, oh, you can stay in my room, or, you know, someone's like, hey, you can carpool with me, you know, I'll get you home. Or I think one time someone actually bought someone a plane ticket to get home. There was a mom. I remember specifically one of it. There was a mom who had her little girls with her, and she was paying cash for her hotel, and there were other event people in line behind her, and they wanted a credit card for the room, and she didn't have a credit card. She says, I'm paying cash, you don't need a credit card, whatever. And they're like, we can't rent you the room if you don't have a credit card. And like 3 people back behind her, an Empower Network person, affiliate, walked up and said, here, you know, use mine, authorize mine for her room. She's paying cash, whatever, but just helped out. I mean, that's just the type of community we're in. That's the type of people that we're surrounded with. And who wouldn't want to go to that? Now, I will also tell you, because a lot of people question, well, I can't travel, blah, blah, blah. Okay, traveling is not required. But my thing is who wouldn't want to, right? But I can tell you straight up, I used to be the one that said, I can't afford a hotel room. I can't afford a plane ticket. Who's going to watch the kids while I'm going to these events? But I learned really quickly that I had to start basing decisions on what's best for myself and what's best for my family and what's best for my business, instead of basing decisions on my checking account, because that's the financial philosophy I had. I was literally basing the decisions in my life, how I lived my life, what I could do and what I couldn't do, on an amount, on a dollar amount that was in my checking account. And I was tired of living that way. I made the decision that I was going to start basing my life on what I wanted, right? I was going to make a commitment to what I wanted, speak it, really, because when you put it out there, it's like speaking it into existence, and then do whatever it takes to get it, right? I've used this example before, you know, because people say, well, I can't afford to start my own business, which, you know, to start an Empower Network at the base level is $25. I mean, I spend that one time going to a fast food place for the 4 of my family members and I, you know, to eat, the 4 of us, four-person family to eat. So, but it's like, here's the thing, you know, if someone were to kidnap your kid and call you up, or, you know, and say, hey, I've got your kid and I want $5,000 for ransom. Even if you didn't have $5,000, wouldn't you find a way to get it? Like, you would find a way, come hell or high water. There's nothing that would stand in your way from getting that $5,000 for your kid, right? Because it's the most important thing to you. So my question is why are you any less important? Because, you know, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family, right? So that's pretty much my story. And so I've been in Empower Network for, like I said, almost 3 years, and I'm loving it. And I'm doing these calls again because I think it's important for the public to see that we're live, that, you know, we're not just putting, oh, I made this amount of money or I made that amount of money, because sometimes I make a lot, and guess what? Sometimes I don't, but that's okay, because you know what I am always? I'm happy and joyous and free in my lifestyle, because I'm grateful that when I wake up every day, that I love what I do, right? There's nothing worse than waking up and feeling like you're in a vicious cycle of hating what you do and not feeling worthy or deserving of the life that you want. And Empower Network has completely given me the freedom to live the way that I want, the freedom to make as much or as little money as I want, and the freedom to travel and share my story with other people and show people just like you who are watching this right now that you truly can live the way that you want to live, that you truly have the ability to have everything that you want, to live your dreams, to travel, to move, to build wells in foreign countries who don't have water for children, to, you know, donate to charities, whatever it is that you want. You have the ability to do it, and everything that you need is inside of you. You may not know that yet, but Empower Network will teach you that, because like I said, I never thought I was, you know, worthy of changing anyone's life, and I am, right? And I know that now. So it's just an amazing community. So now that I've talked for about 30 minutes, I want to turn it over to Dee. Like I said, she's been in my downline for almost 2 years. She actually isn't directly below me. I mean, she is now, but she signed up under someone who was directly below me, who's no longer working the business. So that means she now is directly below me, which is fine with me because she's awesome. And Dee goes to all the events. She lives in Florida, and she's all in with Empower Network, which means she has the ability to make as much money as she wants. And she actually even came to a retreat that I held for my all-in team members, an Elite Master retreat a couple of years ago, and it was amazing. So I love you, Dee. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to check on Vicki while you're talking, but if you just want to hop on here, I'm going to mute myself and share, your story, what you're doing, why you're doing it, a little bit of your background, who you are, so people can see that you're real, just like me, right? And whatnot. That'd be great. I appreciate you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, I was searching online, not for me, when I found Empower Network. I was actually looking for something for my son because he was living with me, he was unemployed, and so I was trying to find something for him to do online. And I saw the opportunity, and I showed it to him, and I'm like, you should do this, you should really do this, because I saw something in it. And my son, he didn't see it. He was like, that's a scam, whatever. And I was like, no, 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 no. And I kept going back to it and kept going back to it and kept going back to it, and I just couldn't let it go because I saw the potential. I saw what was possible, and I couldn't let it go. I just couldn't let it go. And I said, well, if you're not going to do it, I am. So I went ahead and I got started. And I didn't go all in like right at the very first part of signing up. I went all in right before the Denver event, which was 2013 in July. So I got in June, and then July was my first event, and there was they were having a special all-in event on Sunday, and I had already gotten up through the 15K, which is now the product has changed, but I had gotten that far, but I hadn't gone all in, and I said, I'm not going to miss that because I need to get all the training I can get. So I went ahead and went all in, and I was able to go to that event. And let me tell you, I was so impressed at the event. It just, if I had any doubts in my mind about Empowerment Network up to that point, which I really didn't, but if I did, the event totally, solidified my commitment to the business at that point. The thing that impressed me is they actually had a compliance, and that impressed me. I come from the corporate world. I worked for American Express for 15 years as an employee, and compliance is really, really big. So to me, that they had a compliance department, just really, it was impressive to me because I knew that this company really cared. They don't want people out there, bashing their name or, doing things that were against the rules of the company. So to me, that really impressed me, So I was really happy that I had gone to that event, and Denver was fabulous. I got to meet so many people on the team, which made me feel like I wasn't all alone again, because I had been living, I'm in Florida. My sponsor at the time was in Pennsylvania, so I really didn't have any interaction with him at all. He wasn't a phone person, so I never got to talk to him. So I got to meet him, and I got to meet Laura, and I got to meet the whole team. So that to me made me feel like I was really part of community. And that's the thing about events. When you go to events, you really get to feel like you're part of a community. And I haven't missed one since then. I've made it to every one. And I plan on not missing any more because they're so important. They're important to keep you motivated. They're important for networking and meeting other people and getting to meet the leaders. And you can get your pictures taken with all the different leaders. And you can get questions answered. You can get, there's just so much that you can gain from being at events. And that leadership retreat that I went to the following September that Laura held, that was just phenomenal. she took us ziplining. And here I am. She took us ziplining. Well, I got to tell you, that was something that pushed me out of my comfort zone, and to do something that was totally like, I'm afraid of heights, and you know, I'm not one of those daredevil kind of people. I mean, I was, well, I'm 58 now, so I was 56 at the time, right? So, you know, here I am, 56-year-old grandmother, going ziplining for the first time. So that was amazing. That was totally amazing to me. I know Laura thought I was scared. I was. But yeah, events are, they, you have to go to events if you really want to take your business serious. If you want to be successful in your business, the events are so important. So many breakthroughs come at events, and that's why I've stayed in. That's why, you know, I'm still here. I've had my ups and downs, like everyone, you know, like everyone else, you know, but I know that Empower Network is the best place to be, and I know that Empower Network works, and that's it. I mean, I'm you know, I'm in. It's part of me. It's part of me. So, anything else you want to know? I can't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it was pretty amazing to have you ziplining.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. At this last event that we had in Las Vegas, I'm wearing one of the shirts. It says 855, and it says 855, world's highest descent. I actually jumped off of an 855 feet building. It was 108 stories, I believe, 106, 108 stories.
Videotape.
The Stratosphere. Yeah, it's called the Stratosphere. It was pretty awesome. I've got videos from my GoPro that was on my wrist on my YouTube, and I also did a couple other videos too with it, but if you want to check it out. But it's amazing. So I'm interested to see if anyone has any questions specifically about working from home or about Empower Network in general. I'm trying to like reply to the comments over here. I moved my other computer this way a little bit because I really want to be able to answer people's questions who you know, might be wondering anything about working from home or Empower Network or anything like that. But I don't see any questions yet. So I think, hold on. Nope. Jim's the last person to talk. Jim, why aren't you on this call? Jim should be on this call too. Jim's on the team, and Vicky is still trying to get on. Vicky and Christina are still trying to get on. But yeah, so let's talk about, you know, I do want to talk about the financial piece of it, because a lot of people are like, why, you know, why do you obfuscate, or why don't you share this or whatever. So I want to be straight up about the financial piece of it for anyone who might be wondering and curious. So like I said earlier, the basic piece to get into Empower Network is the basic, which is $25. It's the Kalatu blogging platform. And people say, what is it that you do, right? Well, basically, we blog daily, tell others, and get money, right? And you say, what's a blog? Because that's what I said. I didn't blog for my first 9 or 10 months in. And then my team helped me realize that what I do on Facebook is blogging, which is really just sharing my passion, sharing my heart, sharing what's going on in my life, anything like that. For those of you who might ever seen the movie Julie and Julia, or Julia and Julie, whatever, it's about a lady who decided to do a recipe every single day for an entire year based on Julia Child's cookbook or whatever. And they she got very famous. She blogged for a year. She did a recipe every day. She wrote a blog about what she was doing, and then they made a movie out of it, right? So blogging is powerful, and I've had a lot of success recently with blogging in the last 3 or 4 months, because like I said, I was never a big blogger, but in the last 3 or 4 months, my blogs are ranking not only at #1 spot on Google, but 1 through like 8. I've been outranking USA Today, Forbes, the Today Show, just all kinds of places, including Wikipedia and some books that I have done blogs on them, actually outranking the authors themselves, which is amazingly cool. But it's not that I'm super badass, even though I am, right? It's that it's the Kalatu blogging platform. It's absolutely amazing, and that's what you get. So 25 bucks, you get the Kalatu blogging platform, and 25 bucks gives you the ability to earn on it, because you can earn on what you own, right? You can't put an ad in the paper to sell a Corvette if you don't have a Corvette to sell, right? So basically, if you want to earn on the $25 product, you have to own the $25 product. So it's 25 bucks to get in. The affiliate fee is $19.95 a month, and that gives you the right to resell the products. So literally, for $44.95 a month, you have the ability to earn 70% commissions on the $25 platform. Now, the next level up is called the Inner Circle, and that is a compilation of audios from leaders such as myself and other leaders who've had a lot of success in Empower Network, and new up-and-coming people who are having success, where we share exactly what it is we're doing, and it's really just motivational and inspirational stuff too. So one of the 8 core commitments is listening to audio daily. It's so important to surround yourself with like-minded people, and since we don't have events every day, right? There's no better way to do that than to listen to audio from each other every day. So the Inner Circle is an audio compilation, and that's $100 a month. And again, you can earn 70% commissions on that, and you earn on what you own, right? And then there's 3 more products. There's the Top Producer Formula, which is a one-time payment of $500. The Team Building Formula, which is a one-time payment of $1,000. And then the Mass Influence Formula, which is a one-time payment of $3,500. But then you get to earn 70% commissions on all of those things. And a lot of people say, I don't have that kind of money to get in. And guess what? I didn't either. Just like Dee, I did not get all in at the beginning, right? But I can tell you now, hindsight's 20/20, and had I had the funds to get all in from the beginning, I would have, because that means I would have been a lot further along than I already am right now, right? But like most of you right now who are watching this, whether live or watching the recording, here's a question too. I'll check that out in a second. So most of you are the same way. It's like, I'm not going to put a lot of money into this because I don't know if it's real. Like, what if it's a scam, right? Because so many people are worried about that, and I understand. I was like that too, right? I wasn't sure, but I got to say this. It's kind of like getting into a pool, right? Like you can't be on a fence. You're either in or you're out, right? Like, you know, if the water's cold, you like stick your toe in, and you're like, oh, it's cold, so you pull out and you stick your toe in, and you're like, and some people say just jump in, right? And honestly, that's the best way. So I'm not saying, you know, if you can't get all in, don't get in at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm here to reassure you, because I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and Dee's been doing it for almost 2 years now, and we didn't get all in from the beginning, that it is real, that it's not a scam, that you have the ability to get in at the level that you can and work your way up if you like. But I got to tell you, it's like I said before, this is a commitment, right? You have to decide and then take action to change your life. A lot of people will get into this business and say, well, I'll get in and see how it goes. Well, I can tell you straight up, if that's your behavior and your mindset and your attitude, then don't get in, okay? Because when you join anything for any amount of money and say, well, I'll just see how it goes, guess what? It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anyway, because there's nothing that's going to do the work for you. You have to do the work for yourself. So again, getting all in gives you the ability to earn as much money as you want. Honestly, ask yourself something. How much money would you like to make a month, right? Some people, I think Dee might agree with me. Most people say about 10 grand. Most people say they'd like to make 10 grand a month. They would be happy with that, so on and so forth. Because for most people, this isn't about being millionaires, right? For most people, it's about just having the ability to even choose to go out to eat at all. Or if you can already afford to go to like McDonald's, having the ability to go to an actual sit-down restaurant instead of getting fast food. For most people, it's not about extravagant things. It's not about big cars and fancy houses and traveling all over the world, even though that's nice. Most people say, I just want something that can get me out of where I'm at right now. I just want something that can get my bills paid on time and, you know, give us the ability to have a date every so often, and give us the ability to take our kids to the movies or bowling, and just a simple life, right? Like white picket fence, just a simple life. That's what most people want. But you got to ask yourself a question: how much money do you feel like you need for that, right? Every single month. Well, I always get, my team always laughs at me when I grab the calculator, which is what I'm doing right now. But this is what I tell people, right? So like, if you say, I'm just going to get in the $25 level and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and save you the time and the trouble now. Nothing's going to happen if that's your mindset, because this doesn't work for you. You have to work, right? You have to blog daily, tell people about what you're doing, right? So people will join you, and then you get money, right? So the commissions are 70%. So if you only own the $25 product and you make 70% on that, that's $17.50, right? So that'd be $17.50 a person that you bring in to the Kalatu blogging platform, which is absolutely exceptional. Like I said, I've been getting amazing results. I've been doing all-in modules. I mean, it's crazy the results that I've been getting with this platform, which is built on WordPress 4.0. So if you want to make $10,000 a month and you only own the $25 product, which means you make $17.50 per person. So let's take $10,000 and divide it by $17.50. You would have to sign up 571 people a month. Okay, let me just say this. My name is Laura Parrish. I've been in Empower Network for almost 3 years, and I've signed up like 600 people, I think, right? Or something crazy like that. In 3 years, all right? This is 571 in 1 month. Like, unless you're like Superman or Superwoman, I don't know how you sign up 571 people in 1 month. Even our $1 million ringers aren't signing up that many people in a month. You divide that by 30 days in a month, you're looking at 19 people a day. 19 people a day, right? The most I've ever signed up in 1 day was 16 people, and that was when I had a really, really crazy, that was my March month when I made 33 grand plus income disclaimer, right? So, this is about working smarter, not harder. I mean, the whole reason that you want to fire your boss, quit your job, work from home is so that you can work less. Because for me, it's about time freedom. For me, it's gratitude for the freedom that I have to live the way that I want to live. The ability to choose the way that I want to live. The ability to go to my kids' school and eat lunch with them. The ability to go on field trips with them. The ability to go jump on the trampoline with them. The ability to do whatever I want to do. If I want to go on vacation, get up and go on vacation. If I want to go to an event, get up and go to an event, right? Not being restricted by someone that I'm building their dreams because I work for them instead of working for myself. So then let's take it to the next level. Now, let's say you still want to make 10 grand, but now you own the inner circle, which is the $100 a month product, and you own the blog. Well, 70% of 100 is $70. So you would earn $70 plus $17.50. So that means you'd be making $87.50 a person, right? Well, $10,000 divided by $87.50 a person is 114 people a month. Again, to me, that's a little crazy, right? 114 people a month, that's a lot of people. But if you only own those 2 products, then you can only earn on those 2 products, right? 114 people divided by 30 days in a month means you have to bring about 3.8 people in a day, which isn't too far-fetched once you get good at this, right? Once you get good about, and you say, good at what? What is it that I'm doing? Telling your story, doing what I'm doing right now, pouring out your heart, sharing what you love, that you have time freedom and you can live the way you want. Now, you might be petrified of videos, right? You don't have to do videos like this. You don't have to do live calls like this. I can tell you right now, I used to never do this stuff. You should see my first video. I should like totally put my first video up for you guys to see. I don't even look the same. I don't act the same. I'm like all nervous, like I'm like, hey, my name is, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's ridiculous, right? You'll get used to doing this stuff if you love it. But the thing is love what you do. Whatever your passion is, do it. You know what I mean? So 3.8 people if you own those 2 products. But let's say you own the top producer formula, which is a one-time payment of $500, right? Well, that gives you $350, right, per person. So let's say you have the $350 plus the 70 plus the 1750, which means 437.50 a person that you get to join those 3 levels, right? And I'm not trying to confuse you guys. I'm just trying to prove a point here. And this is recorded, so you guys will be able to go back to my YouTube channel anytime and watch it, right? So 437.50. So if you take $10,000 and divide it by 437.50, that's 22 people a month, right? Divided by 30 days in a month. You don't even have to sign up 1 person a day. You can sign up less than a person a day, right? If you get whoever you're signing up to go into at least those 3 products. Now, if you were all in, which means you own all the products, you can sign like literally 3 people up for the entire month. So like if you worked really hard for the first 2 or 3 days and got 3 people to sign up and go all in the first 3 days, guess what? You don't have to work for the next 27 days, right? I mean, it's about working smarter, not harder, and having the ability to do what you want. And I do want to say this about what I said a second ago about passion. I want to make it very clear with this disclaimer that I'm not trying to talk anyone out of doing a JOB, which we call just over broke, right? There are many, many people who are doctors or lawyers or, you know, pharmacists or veterinarians or whatever it is that you do that have a passion for that, right? To me, the most important thing is doing whatever you're passionate about in life, okay? My husband's a restaurant manager. He doesn't necessarily like working 8 million hours a week, but he loves what he does. He's passionate about it, and that's okay, right? So we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need restaurant managers, we need veterinarians, we need all these people. And I submit that everyone should always do what they're passionate about. There's nothing worse than living in a way that you're not happy with and that you're not passionate about. But when you can get up every morning and have gratitude for the freedom to live the life that you want to live and choose to live the life that you want to live, whether that be, you know, working in a restaurant or working as a doctor, or whether that be working from the comfort of your home as an affiliate for like Empower Network, then so be it, right? So let me take a break here. Do you have anything to add about anything that I said, Dee?
Yeah. Just that having the products, you know, gives you the opportunity to earn on the products. And if you don't get the products, then you're going to be missing out on commissions, because basically if you get people in and they see you know, they have a vision, they have a drive, and they want to, you know, really do this, and they really have a passion about it, they're going to go ahead and they're going to get all in, and you know, you're going to miss out. So get all in, and don't miss out on anything. Do it for yourself, and that's really, really so important, because I mean, if someone goes all in and you're not all in, it's going to go to your upline, you know, and you know, your upline's not going to, you know, be upset about that. But yeah, it's really important. I do want to say the Kalatu blogging platform is excellent. I just absolutely love Kalatu. It has made it so easy to blog, and I've been pretty consistent with my blogging. I may miss a day here and there due to family or whatever, but for the most part, I've been blogging daily, and I'm seeing actually a lot of comments on my blog, and I'm getting a lot of interaction with people, and it's really great. And I'm getting leads, and it's really an awesome platform. So if you haven't checked out Kalatu, you really should.
Let me unmute myself here. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, Kalatu is insanely awesome. And yeah, like she said, you know, if you're not all in and you know, someone joins you and they go all in, then you're like gonna get these emails that say congratulations, you just lost X amount of dollars, and that's rough, right? Like that's stressful in and of itself. But I gotta be honest with you. I mean, you know, you might be one of those people who says, well, let me just get in at $25 and see what happens. But then let's say you come across someone who's not playing, like someone who finds your ad, or read your blog and says, man, I do this, I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to change my life, and they sign up under you and they say, I'm going all in, right? And they do, they go all in. If you only own the $25 platform, then all those other levels are going to get passed up to your sponsor. And that's happened many times with me. And I mean, like Dee said, I'm not going to feel bad about it because I get paid, but at the same time, like, I'd rather my people earn money, right? Like, I would rather earn money from the people directly below me, right? And I would prefer that my people directly below me earn their money from their people, right? I don't want to, it doesn't feel good to earn from my people's people, right? Because you should be earning from your own people, right? And so, but yeah, you just got to get on. That's crazy. So I have a question over here. Let's see. It says, how do I deal with negative people who do not believe, like spouses too? Someone said, good question. Let's see, Jim says, when it comes to negative spouses, the single best way to stop it is to make money doing what they think is a scam. Nothing will change their mind quicker than results. Easy to say, hard to do, I know, but money answers all things. That's scripture too. And Doug also said, not only do you miss out on earning if you're not only, you miss out on the learning, which is just as, if not more important. Yeah, I mean, the levels of Empower Network, I didn't finish going through what the top producer, team building formula, mass influence formula are, but really it's leaders just like myself and other leaders teaching you exactly what we do. It's literally marketing training. This is like literally like going to college, except you don't have to spend 4 years to go. You spend a ton less money and you have the ability to earn on it. I mean, you go, if you went to your local university or a big university or a local college or, you know, like your Yale or Harvard, I mean, you have to pay to take those classes, right? You have to register and pay to go to class. They're not going to let you just go in and listen to learn, right? You have to pay to learn, okay? It's the same thing. You pay for your education, you get your education, but the difference is you can turn around and resell it, right? I mean, the universities and colleges don't let you resell their education. They keep, you know, your money and stuff, and you have the ability to turn around and earn on it. But I want to address the question here. So, how do you deal with negative people? Well, you know, I'm fortunate that I didn't have a negative spouse, and Dee didn't either. Dee's spouse is very supportive of her. Actually, her and Richard, I just got to say this, they've been married like forever, and they like literally make me sick. They're like the cutest couple ever. I go to events, and they're all like cute, like holding hands and walking around together, and we eat breakfast or dinner or lunch or whatever together. They're just the cutest thing ever, I swear. It's so cool to get to hang out with them. But anyway, back to the question. You're welcome. It's true. You guys are like the cutest thing. So we have spouses that support us, but I feel you, okay? I've had people join my team before who are like, don't talk about me being on your team publicly because my spouse doesn't know I'm joining. And you know, and I get it, okay? I get it. You know, I can't just like you can't make your spouse, you know, agree with what you're doing or whatever. But I can say a few things, all right? And that's this, that anyone who cares about you, okay, whether it be a family member or whether it be a friend or whatever the case may be, should be happy that you're trying to do something to better yourself, right? If you're trying to do something to make your life better, to make your family's life better, to make a change in your life, those people should be supportive of you. My saying has always been, if you're not with me, you're against me, right? And I'm not saying you should kick people to the curb or cut them off or anything like that. But what I am saying is when you have those people who are like, oh, that's a scam or that's this or that's that or whatever, you know, you can easily say, hey, I get that your opinion is this, okay? Your opinion is your opinion. I completely respect it. I don't have to agree with it, right? We can agree to disagree. But you need to understand that I also have my opinion. And in my opinion, I'm doing something different to change my life for myself and for my family because I'm tired of living the way that we're living. I'm tired of not being able to provide the way I want to provide. And I'm determined to do whatever it takes to live the way that I want to live, to change my life. You know, you can be a part of it or you can sit on the sideline and scoff about it, right? But I'm going to do this for me and I'm going to do this for my family because it's important to me, right? And like I said, anyone who's not with you is against you, and anyone who's against you is not with you, right? So that's what I would say to that. You know, another thing that you can say too is, you know, these people who say, well, that's a scam or it's not real or they're just taking your money. Look at it this way, right? if you want to invest money in the stock market, just an example, I'm just picking an example, okay? If you want to invest money in the stock market, who do you go for advice on that? Who do you go to? Do you go to a stock market broker? Or do you ask your spouse or your mom or your sibling or your dad or your grandparents or your niece or your nephew or your brother who makes $6 an hour? I mean, who do you get advice? If you want to invest money in the stock market, who do you go to for advice? You go to a stock market broker, right? If you want to buy a house, who do you go to? A realtor, right? If you want to build a house, who do you go to? A contractor. If you want to buy a car, who do you go to? A car salesman. I mean, it's not really valid for people who don't do this business to pass judgment on it, right? Because how can they say that's a scam or it's not real or they're going to take your money when they don't do it? Like they don't have the ability to say what this is or what this isn't because they're not doing it, right? So wouldn't you take advice from the people who are doing this successfully? I mean, that's why so many of us do these public things, these live things, because I'm not getting paid to do this right now. Dee's not getting paid to do this. She just said, hey, I'll jump on the call with you, right? And my poor girls, Vicky and Christina, they're trying to get on the call and they're not getting paid. I think they're just having technical difficulties. But we do this because we're passionate about what we do. We love it, and we want to help other people change their lives. Trust me, like I said, I never thought that I would have the ability to do anything because who was I? I was just an ex-drunk, right, trying to change my life, and who's going to listen to me? But you know what? I made a decision to change my life, and I was going to stop at nothing to do it. And if you didn't like it, then you didn't have to talk to me. You didn't have to hang out with me. If you wanted to unfriend me, then unfriend me on Facebook. If you wanted to unfollow me, then unfollow me. If you want to block me. Because you know what? All these other people around us that say this or that or subject insert their opinion and all this stuff, they're not the ones paying your bills, okay? And even if it's a family member who is maybe helping pay your bills or a spouse or whatever, and you share those things, they're not the one in charge of your happiness. See, no one's in charge of your happiness except for you. And how can you be happy if you're constantly struggling, if you're constantly living, in a way that you just feel bleh all the time, right? I actually put a post up. I put a note up on my Facebook page late last night, I think it was, about maximizing your results, your fulfillment, and your joy in life. I mean, even if you make $10 billion, but you feel stressed or worried all the time, then that's what your life is going to be, stress and worry. So for the people who surround you that are negative, cut them out of your life. And like I said, when I say cut them out, I don't mean be like, I hate you, don't talk to me anymore. But just be like, hey, this is what I need to do for me, for my family. And I'm trying to do something to change my life because the things that I've been doing thus far have resulted in me what we have right now. And I'm not happy with that. So now I'm going to make a change and I'm going to do something different. And you can either go with me, right? Or you can sit on the sideline and your opinion's your opinion, but I don't need to hear the negativity because I'm trying really hard to surround myself with positive people and like-minded people who have the same interests that I do in changing my life so that I can better my life, right? And if you approach people like that, I find that's best. And here's another thing. If you're talking about the negative people who you might be trying to get to sign up or whatever, here's the thing. Someone called me, here's a little story about this. Someone called me a hustler a long time ago, like hustler, Hustler, but they're like, oh, you a hustler, right? And that really pissed me off because maybe that's considered a cool term in internet marketing. But you know what? I don't consider myself an internet marketer. Now that might be my title because I work from home online, but I'm not a salesperson, okay? That's not who I am. My main goal and focus and job in life and my why is not to sign up a bunch of people so I can make X amount of dollars, okay? My why is to show people that they have the ability to live the way that they want to live and earn what they want to earn, whether it be $10,000 a month or $30,000 a month, or whether it be $500 a month, right? That's up to you. I learned really quickly that I can't want someone else's success for them more than I want it for myself, or I can't want someone else's success for them more than they want it for themselves, right? So if I get these people, like people come and say, hey, I want information on what you do, I give them the information. If they start with that negative stuff, I say, okay, cool. You obviously don't want to do what I do. so move along, right? Because see, it's not my job to talk anyone into anything. I don't need to talk people into greatness, okay? People who want to change their lives will want to do it for themselves. And if they want to be great and change their life, I'm here to help them with that, right? But I'm not here to hustle anybody. I'm not here to like sell. I'm not here, I'm just here to share my story and my vision and my passion, which is completely in line with Empower Network as a company as a whole, which is to show people that they truly can live the way that they want to live if they just make the commitment to do it, follow the steps, right, and take the action to do it. That's really all it is. Now let me go back over here. Let's see if I answered that question. Let's see. Do you have anything to say of what I said or anything?
Yeah, I've encountered some negativity, some negative people along the way, and my son was very negative. But what changed his view, although he still didn't want to do it for himself, was when I showed him results. So proof is very important to especially family members. They think it's a scam, but when you show them the proof is, and the income that you're making, and you show them, that's really going to change their mind, because until they see results, until they see that you're actually doing something, they're gonna, still keep their negative, their mind closed. They're gonna be negative about it. So, but yeah, proof is very important. So, and if you don't have your own proof to show, there's a lot of proof out there from leaders that you can show that it really works too. So that's just one other thing I wanted to say.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely true. And some people say, well, what do I show until I get my own paid proofs, right? Until I have my own things, right? Well, let me tell you this. When I first started in internet marketing, 20 days before I joined Empower Network, right? I got to tell you, like, I was so frustrated because I would beat my head against the wall because I knew I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, right? Like, I was marketing like crazy. When we say marketing, for those of you who don't know what I mean telling others, right? Like posting on Facebook, hey guys, I decided to start my own business and work from home. I love what I do. It's changing my life. If you want to change your life too, shoot me a message, add me as a friend, and I'll give you the information, right? Like, I was putting marketing out there like that on my Facebook. I was going on Craigslist. I was like not sleeping. And yes, my team name is Team No Sleep, but it doesn't mean that I never sleep. Actually, I really do never sleep. But the premise behind the team name is that my team members would always say it doesn't matter whether it's 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon or 12 in the morning or 12 in the afternoon or whatever. Whenever we message Laura, she gets back to us within like 10 minutes, so she must never sleep. But I haven't slept for a long time, like for like 18 years. But anyway, I completely lost my train of thought because I got off on that tangent. Someone remind me really quick what I was saying. Do you remind me what I was saying? I completely lost my train of thought. She said I joined the right team. I never sleep either.
You were talking about proof. Post proof.
Oh yeah, thank you. See, it's live. I mess up too, right? I'm just saying what's on my. But yeah, so like proof. But I was beating my head against the wall because, like, I was doing all the right things. I was never sleeping. I was posting. I was telling others, blah, blah, and I wasn't having any success when I first started, right? And I was like ready to pull my hair out and call my sponsor and be like, what up? Like, I'm like, ugh. I was never ready to quit because I'm not a quitter at any cost, any way, shape, or form. But I just didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And she was like, chill out. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard, right? I was like, okay, whatever. And then I went away that weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend. Remember I said I joined in May of last year, 2012. So I chilled out and I went away for Mother's Day weekend. And when I was on Interstate 81 in Virginia on my way back home, I got my phone went off with an email notification that said I had just earned $25, right? And excuse my language, but I literally in the car said, "Holy shit." And my husband was like, "What?" And I was like, "It works." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just made $25 because Empower Network used to be 100% commission. So you sold 25, you got 25, right? Now it's 70%. And that was it. Like, that was it. I was hook, line, and sinker because I knew eventually, I thought to myself, if I can make 25, then I can make 250. And if I can make 250, then I can make 2,500. And if I can make 2,500, then I can make 25,000, right? Because then you realize that your income is dependent upon your desire to earn money, right? Your desire to create whatever life that you want. If you want to make $25,000, go make $25,000, right? If you want to make $250, go make $250. So on and so forth. But the point of this piece of the conversation was, you know, how do you show pay proof when you first start and you don't have pay proof to show? Like Dee said, you know, you can get with your sponsor or ask someone else and say, hey, can I show your results? Now you always be honest and say, hey, these are my sponsor's results or this is X person's results. You don't ever lie about, you know, anything ever, ever, ever. But the thing is I learned a really important lesson that when I was trying too hard to make money, I wasn't making money, right? But when I stopped trying to make money and started really focusing on, hey, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to change my life and change my family's life, right? So I asked myself, so why are other people doing this? Well, because they want to make money too, but the reason they want to make money is because they're not happy in their life right now. Like something's wrong with their life, right? Either they can't pay their bills or they can't go out to eat or have dates or they can't live the way that they want. And we all have to have money to be able to, money is nothing more than a tool. Everyone needs to understand that, right? But it's like people can't live the way they want because living the way you want requires X amount of dollars depending on how you want to live, right? So it's like everybody gets into this for the money, but it's like when I was trying to make money, I wasn't making it and it made no sense. But then when I stopped and stepped back and stopped trying so hard to make money and thought about those things and thought about, well, why am I doing this? I am doing this to change my life. That means that other people want to do this to change their life. So the truth of the matter is that this is about changing our lives. Money is just secondary because money helps you. It's a tool to achieve different things, right? And the magical thing happened, which is when I stopped worrying about making money and really started focusing on helping other people change their lives, because that's exactly what I wanted to do, change my life. Guess what? I started making money because people could tell. See, here's the thing. When you first start, if you're all like, boom, 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 I'm going to make money, come join me, pay $25, get in, then you're a salesperson, right? And I think John said it a few minutes ago, or somebody said it on the chat here. People, I think it was John Pointer. I love John. Hi, John, by the way. You need to come on one of these calls with us and talk next time we do this next Sunday, right? Hey, by the way, next Sunday, 9 o'clock, everybody, invite your people and make the link your own so that when they click join now below this video and sign up, they'll be joining under you, okay? And there's instructions on how to do that in the event. But anyway, my point is like John said, people buy from people. People don't buy from businesses, right? Like people buy from people. People were buying from me when I first started because I was selling. I was trying to sell. I was trying to be that hustler. And then when I realized that this is not what this is about, that this is really about changing our lives, that this is a lifestyle change, that this is about, you know, being a part of a community where we just love each other and we want to be around each other. And, you know, it's not a cult or anything like that. It's just a mindset shift. It's about lifting each other up and saying you can do it and believing in each other, right? It's really what this is about. When I started focusing on that, that's when, you know, things started to happen for me. And then when somebody called me a hustler, when they're like, oh, you a hustler, I'm like, don't call me that because I don't do that. I don't sell people. I share my vision and my story. And if people want the type of lifestyle that I have, then I'm happy to help them with that. I'm happy to show them that. And I got to share this. Dee might laugh, but I got to share this. Let me look over here in the comments real quick. We happily never sleep. Okay, so I got to share this too. And this is called my car salesman little thing that I thought of. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Maybe some of you are on the team or inside of Empower Network have heard me talk about this before. Maybe you haven't, but I'm going to tell you. So what did I just say a few minutes ago? Then it was based on what John said, John Pointer, which is people buy from people. People don't buy from businesses, okay? But here, we have a choice, okay? We have a choice. You say, okay, what do you mean? Well, here, what does that have to do with cars, okay? Well, who likes to buy cars? Anybody? Anybody likes to buy cars? Say I if you like to buy cars, or do you hate buying cars? Like, some people love buying cars, some people hate buying cars. And if you hate buying cars, why? Like, do you hate buying a car? Do you hate going to a car dealership? Right? I'm like looking over here. I should move this computer over here so I can see the comments a little bit better. But anyway, here's the point. So if you go to a car dealership, what generally happens, and I talked about this on the Empower Hour call a few weeks ago on Monday night. If you go to a car dealership, usually some car salesman, male or female, come out to you on the lot, whatever car you're standing at, and like jump down your throat with a business card and, hey, you want to test drive this? And hey, this would be a great buy. And hey, this and hey, that, and hey, this and hey, that, and blah, blah, until the point where you're like so pissed off, you're like ready to roll out, right? Because you're like, get off of me, okay? And I hated that, right? I hated that. So, but they do that for a couple reasons. Because they know that if you leave the lot, the chance of you ever coming back to that lot are slim to none. Like, they want you to buy now. So they try to sell you, sell you, sell you. But here's the thing. Do you like that type of person? Do you? Do you like someone who's like down your throat, like, come buy this car, you know? No, you don't want to deal with someone like that. Like, they give you a card and say, hey, if you need any help, come back to me. Chances are you're intentionally not going to go back to them because you don't want to deal with someone like that. But let's look at this in a different format. What if a car salesman came out to you when you walked onto a lot and said, hey, my name is John, and you know, here's my business card. I see you just came on the lot. You're probably just looking. So I just want to give you my card. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be inside, and I'm just going to let you look, right? And then they go inside. What would you do? Like, would you even know what to do? Would you know how to behave? Because you would probably look at your spouse or significant other or family member, whoever you went shopping with, because most people don't go to car dealerships by themselves, and be like, what was that? Because that's unusual, you know, that someone's not down your throat. But here's the thing. When you're ready to talk to someone about a car, who are you more likely to go to? You're more likely to go to the person who wasn't shoving it down your throat, right? Because they seem genuinely like interested and understanding that you're just looking, whatever. If you need help, this is my card, here I am, right? Well, how about this? So let's take the first person that I talked about. So let's say you do go in and talk to them and they're like, yeah, you need to get the Escalade EXT because it's got like the dual sunroofs and triple DVD players and leather seats, and you know, it's pimped out and a 6-disc CD changer and tinted windows and chrome and the rims and blah, 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 right? And they're like shoving all this stuff down your throat, which of course everybody would like to have all that stuff, but all that stuff costs money, right? Expensive. But what if you went to the nicer person who didn't shove things down your throat and said, you know, and you said to them, not them say to you, you said to them, okay, well, I think we want to get an Escalade because we want an SUV. We want six seats, you know, 6 rows or 3 rows for 6 people, or 7, 8, how many holds, right? We want, you know, dual DVD players. We want leather seats. We want tinted windows. We want, you know, all those nice things on the rims. You know, so I think we want to get an Escalade. Would you show us some of those? Now, wouldn't it blow your mind if the salesperson sat there and looked at you and said, okay, so let me understand this. You're telling me that you're interested in an Escalade because it's got these features: tinted windows, you know, the rims, the 3-row seats, blah, 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 DVD players, all that, right? And then you said yes. So that literally means that the salesperson listened to you because he just repeated back to you what you said you were interested in, right? So that's one thing, he listened. Then what if he said this? What if he said, you know, the Escalade does have all those things, and if you would like an Escalade, I'm happy to show you an Escalade, take you on a test drive, whatever. But I could save you about $20,000, and you could get a Chevrolet Suburban that has all the same thing. Would you like be floored or what? You would be absolutely floored, because you'd be like, holy cow, I've got a person here who didn't shove anything down my throat as soon as we walked on the lot, right? Gave us his card, said, if you need anything, come let me know. When we went and we told him what we were interested in, he repeated it back, so, you know, we knew that he listened to us. And then said, here's a way I can save you money. If you get this, it'll save you 20 grand, and it has all the same things, right? Now, you tell me. I just want to know, who do you go buy from? Who do you go buy from? I mean, come on. You're going to buy from salesperson number 2. You're not going to buy from the asshole that you talked to the first time, right? Sorry about my language, but that's just the way it is. People buy from people, okay? People don't buy from businesses. As a matter of fact, if you had 1, 2, 3 car salesmen like that come at you like that on that lot, you'd either A, go to a different dealership completely, because you want to find a salesperson that you like and that you want to deal with. And if you don't have, because where I live is a small town, like we only have one dealership of each type of, you know, model and stuff or whatever make, you could even literally drive an hour or 2 hours away to go to the same type of dealership in another city, because you just don't want to deal with the people you're at, right? So who are you going to buy from? And that's what I gotta say. That's what I gotta say about that. That people buy from people. So you gotta be real. You know, you gotta tell the truth. Be real. So when it comes to showing results and pay proofs, yes, you can borrow pay proofs from, you know, your friend that's in the business who's having success, or a leader that's in the business. You know, as long as you say, hey, check out my friend's results and things like that. But really, you've just got to be you. You know what I mean? And understand that a majority of the people, at least who follow me, and I can't speak for D, but a majority of the people that follow me and have been following me for years now, because I have a lot of people who haven't joined yet, but they've been following me, and then they'll like message me and they're like, okay, I'm joining now because you're obviously not fake, because you've been doing this for years. I've been following you forever because I share my life. You know, I like, oh, went to the park with my kids today, you know, and I'm just real. But a majority of people live through you vicariously. Do you realize that when you share stuff online? When I say, hey, you know, went out to eat with my family, or I put a bunch of pictures up of a barbecue I did in my backyard, or I take a video of me on the trampoline with the kids, or I do a video, you know, and say, hey, I just got back from school lunch with my daughter, or whatever the case may be, you know, just by sharing my life, or I post a picture up and say, hey, someone just joined my team, which is only, you know, if someone joins at the $25 level, that's only $25. But guess what? That's $25 more than I had 5 minutes before they joined, right? So people live through you vicariously. See, it's not always about the money. Everybody's always like, I got to put pay proofs up. I got to put pay proofs up. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay? This is about lifestyle. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys the entire time, right? This is about being able to live the way that you want to live. And some people associate that with money, unfortunately, but that's not necessary. And here's a perfect example I can give you. And I talked about this on stage in DC, and I know I talked about this on the Empower Hour too, which is, you know, I would be busy with life, because we're always busy, right? We're busy. I got to do this, and we make the list. You know, my board used to have like a list of 5 million things on it that never got done, right? Because it's like, oh, I didn't get it all done, so I just move it to the next day and add more things to it, which was ridiculous. But it's like, we're so busy in life. We're so busy in life. We're so busy in life that we can't stop. And I know my daughter, like, would, you know, and, you know, your kids come up to you and you're like, mommy, mommy, or blah, blah, and you're like, what? Because we're all so busy. We don't want to stop and listen. And one day my daughter came up to me and she said, mommy, and she tugged on my shirt. She was standing right here, and it was before that desk was right there, because it's my assistant's desk over there. But there's a window right there. And she's like, come here. And I was like, what, Samantha? And she's like, come here. So I got up and I went over and I said, what? And she said, look, a flower's blooming. And she pointed out the window. And I knelt down and I just put my arm around her. And I said, yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And see, that's what lifestyle's about. Being there for moments like that. At least it's for me, because I'm a mom. Okay. And if I was out working at JOB somewhere, I would miss moments like that. I wouldn't be here to see things that to us as adults is so menial. You know, like, okay, a flower is blooming, so what? But to a little kid, that's like the most amazing, gorgeous, beautiful thing in the world. And you know what? It didn't cost any amount of money for that to happen. I didn't need a paid proof for that. But when that happened, you can bet your sweet ass that as soon as it was over, I sat down in front of my computer and I talked about gratitude. I talked about, you know what? I love what I do. Because even though the money's great, and I didn't say that before I started making money, I just said, you know what? I love what I do. Why? Because I have time freedom. Why? Because a few minutes ago, my daughter was trying to get my attention. I was busy, and I'm like, what do you want? And finally, I took the time to get up and go see what it was that she wanted. And she pointed at a flower blooming, and I knelt down and said, yes, that's amazing. And I'm able to do that because of this business. I'm able to not miss those moments because I have freedom of time because of this business. I can tell you most people want that kind of lifestyle. And that kind of lifestyle ain't got nothing to do with how many zeros are in your bank account, right? There was another time that I was sitting, I didn't tell this one on the Empower Hour call, but there was another time that I was sitting in the recliner with my son, not here, but in our house that we rented in Richmond. And he was playing a video game, right? He wasn't paying attention to me at all, but I was sitting there with him, and I just put my hand on his heart. And I just sat there for like 20 minutes in the rocking chair with my hand on his heart, just feeling his heartbeat. I didn't say anything to him. And like I said, he wasn't worried about me because he was worried about his little video game, right? But I just sat there with him for about 20 minutes and I rocked. And the entire time I was sitting there, I thought to myself, thank God that I have the ability to do this. Because what's the alternative? What's the alternative? What if I was slaving away, working at a job that I didn't have the time to just sit and be, to sit and think of the amazing, amazing power of life, right? Because I know that most parents who have a job or jobs, whatever, they go to work, they work all day, they come home worn out, exhausted, tired, but they want to spend time with their kids. They come home, they make dinner, they do the baths, they do the homework, and then it's like it's time for the kids to go to bed. You probably didn't even get to play with them. You're exhausted, so you've got to go to bed, and you've got to get up and do it all again the next day. And it's like, where's the time? Where's the time freedom to just sit and be, to feel a heartbeat, to be grateful that you have a family? For me, I had a lot of gratitude because for me, it's like, what are the alternatives? The alternatives for me was I could be in jail right now because I used to drink and drive all the time in my disease, right? I used to live wrong. Hell, I learned to be grateful to even have a kitchen counter to clean, because what's the alternative? I could have lost my home. I could have lost my family. I could have lost my life or killed someone else or been in jail for the rest of my life because of the way that I lived, right? See, this is about learning to live the way that you want. And when you learn to live the way that you want, you feel free. And when you feel that way, you just talk about it. That's what we talk about. Tell others, right? Blog daily, tell others, get paid. Write a blog about how you feel. Share it with people. Tell other people what's going on in your life. I sat down and wrote a post about that too with my son. Hey guys, I'm just so grateful. I just sat in the recliner with my son for 20 minutes and felt his heartbeat, and I'm just so grateful for life and for my children and my family. People read that, they want that. That's more powerful to me than putting a pay proof up that says, hey, I just made $3,500. Guess what? I might get more hits on the pay proof that shows I made $3,500, right? I might get more hits on that, and I might get a bunch of people to sign up for that, right? Because of that pay proof. But then on that pay proof, when people all sign up and they're like, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money, and they don't make money like that immediately, guess what happens? They quit. Because you might get a lot of people that sign up about money, but then when they realize they actually have to work for it to earn it, then they're like, well, hell, I'd rather just have a job. Okay, well, if you want to build someone else's dreams, go ahead. But when people join you because of heart, when people join you because of who you are and your vision and your leadership and your integrity and your character, those are the people who stay forever. And these are the people who stay through the good times and the bad, the people who don't walk away just because they're not making X amount of dollars, the people who see and feel gratitude, gratefulness for when they are making great money, and understand when sometimes they don't make great money, right? This is about time freedom. This is about lifestyle. And it's absolutely amazing. So I hope now that I've done this whole spill that I've helped answer those questions about how to, which originally started as how to talk to negative people, right? And it turned into all this. So I'm going to be quiet for a second and check the comments and stuff while I let Dee share her thoughts on all that. So Dee, go ahead.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah. Wow. I just went blank there for a second. Okay, so we were talking about negative people and how to deal with negative people, and you know, really just stay positive and be positive, and don't let the negative people get you down, because in the end, negative people aren't paying your bills, and negative people aren't they're not the ones that are responsible for your life. You are. So it's all about you helping people to be better people than they are, and if you're focused on helping people and being a better version of yourself daily, you're going to be successful in your business. And there's going to be haters out there, there's going to be negative people out there, and basically just move on to the next person. It's not worth it. You need to just try to get the negative people out of your life, and out of your daily life. There's enough negative out there that we just want to try to keep all the positive inside us, and basically just let them go. Right?
Absolutely, Dee. So do you have anything else you want to add before I close out the call tonight?
No, I'm good.
Good. Okay, because we've been on for about an hour and a half, and I don't want to keep going on and on, even though like I could talk forever, as you know, because sometimes our team calls are forever. Yes. So let me leave you guys with this, okay? If you're in Empower Network already, this is for you guys, okay? I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in 10 days. We have our next event coming up in Nashville, Tennessee, in 10 days at the Gaylord Opryland. And I'm super excited. Well, it's not 10 days. It's like 12 days, but I'm going to be there in 10 days, which is why I said 10 days, right? I'll be there on the 22nd. So I'm super excited to see you all. And I hope that you invited your people who are interested in joining your team to this call. I put some information on the event that shows you how to make the link your own, so that if they click the button to join, that they'll be joining you, right, since you invited them. And I'll see you guys in Nashville. Now, for those of you who have not joined Empower Network yet, who are not a part of this business, who came to this call because you just wanted to hear what I had to say, you wanted to hear what I was talking about gratitude for freedom in 2015, what that means to me, and maybe you've been interested in the business, but you wanted more information, click the link below, okay? There's a big black box below this video that says join now, click here. And if I invited you to this call and you clicked on my link from my page or wherever, an email, then you'll be signing up under me. But anyone else who invited you to this call has made what I was talking about a second ago, the link their own, which means when you click the join now button, you'll be joining under them, okay? And they want to help you change your life, just like I want to help my people change their life, right? But the most important thing to remember is that we're all one big community. So it doesn't matter if you're on my team or if you're on someone else's team, you're still going to get the same support from me, regardless, right? And you still get the same support from anyone else, regardless of whose team you're on. You know what I mean? Because we're all part of one big community. And I know that through listening to Dee and I tonight, that you've heard something that you can relate to, that your heart like started beating faster because you're like, she's talking to me, right? Or your stomach was turning, or you're saying right on, because you can relate and understand exactly what we're saying and where we're coming from, because it matches your story, right? Even a little piece of it. I can tell you, I can promise you that there is a better way to live. And I always knew in life that I was meant to do something big, but I thought that that was gone. I thought that that ship had sailed, because I literally was destroying my life by drinking, and then I stopped drinking and I turned my life around, right? But I still didn't know what I was meant to do. I still didn't understand what big thing I was supposed to do in life, or how I was supposed to help people. And then I found Empower Network, and I found out that it was the vehicle. It is the vehicle that's allowed me to do what I'm doing right now, which is share my heart with you guys, right? I can change this world one person at a time. And guess what is even more amazing than that? You can change this world one person at a time with what you have to say, with your thoughts, with your opinions. Every person that you touch, every person that you affect, impact, touch, talk to every day or around, sees what you're doing. You want to combat those negative people? Show them that you're living differently, right? Because when you join a like-minded community and you make a decision to change your life, before they see the money, they're going to see you. They're going to see your behaviors. They're going to see your attitude. And when people see you every day with an attitude of gratefulness, and they see you every day joyous and wanting to do something different in your life, you may not be making money yet, but they're going to say, what's going on with that person, right? Like, they seem all happy all of a sudden all the time, right? Because I don't know why, but I want what they have. And then they're going to ask you what it is that you're doing. And it's what it is that you're doing is changing your life. So if you're not in Empower Network yet, what you need to do is click the link below and get signed up, okay? At least at the $25 level. I always suggest to people to get the inner circle as well, because it's so important to listen to audio. So you can hear exactly like what Dee and I have been talking about this whole hour and a half, which is just inspirational and motivational truth, tips, golden nuggets, if you will, of this business, and how we're working it, and how it's changing our lives, and how we're changing other people's lives. So the best thing that you can do is click the link below to get started inside of Empower Network, join our team, and please get a ticket and join us in Nashville, because how cool would it be for me to meet you, for Dee to meet you, for us to all meet each other for the first time ever, and it all have started from this call, right? You can say, you know what, I joined because of the call that you and Dee did 10 days ago, and I'm here and I'm excited to change my life. And man, that would just be an amazing feeling, because I'd love to do a video with you and for you. You know what I'm saying? How cool would that be? So thanks for coming tonight. Make sure you stay tuned. Next Sunday, I'm going to put another event link up. And for those who are already in Empower, keep your eye out for that. And you can grab that link and make it your own and invite people back. Every Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m., I'm going to be doing these calls either by myself or with a team member or a few team members of mine. And even if you're not on my team, I said to John, you need to get on this call. It doesn't matter if you're in Empower Network and have a story to share. I want you on the call with me, right? So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Dee. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. Good night.